Welcome to mathematics class today. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Good. I'm happy that you're fine. You know, it's always refreshing when students come to mathematics class to hear you say that you are fine. Some persons are so depressed when they go to mathematics class. Do we have anybody depressed here?
No, sir.
All right, because even if you were depressed, well, then I would hope that maybe something real strange would have happened, because I would have hoped that this mathematics class today would help you to cheer up. Huh? So in this class we will go on to look at subtraction of binary numbers. Remember, we last looked at addition of binary numbers, and we learned that to add binary numbers is very similar to adding the normal base 10. And we looked in details how we can add binary numbers. We will look at subtracting binary numbers. Now, of course, this is not a set of binary numbers here. This is not a binary number problem. But this is the normal base 10 numbers. Do you agree?
Yes, sir.
How do you know it is not base 9, for example? How do you know it is base 10?
Sir, no subscript.
Yes, there is no subscript. Remember, once there is no subscript, it is base 10. It is accepted as base 10. Base 10 is the only number that we write without putting a subscript there. Any other number, if it's base 9, we would have to put a subscript here and a subscript there. You help me subtract this. Take 10 seconds in your book and subtract it. Great. Well, now you can help me to subtract. 6 from 1?
No.
Can go. So then we can't subtract.
No, sir.
Yes, sir.
Oh, we go to 2 and we take 1 from here, and this drop to 1. And then this becomes?
11.
You sure?
Yes, sir.
How it becomes 11?
Because
Because it's base 10. And if you take 1 from here and you carry it across there, Harish, you're saying it becomes?
11.
Yes, because this 1 together with 10, when this 1 come across there, it becomes 10. So we have now a total of 11. Now I know you will usually just put this 1 there to denote 11, huh?
No.
That's what you would usually do. Put the 1 there and you would read this as 11. Good? But what we can do, let us just forget about this and then put the 11 there. Right? Forget about that 1, because we couldn't take it from 1. So we say when 1 come across, it is 10 together with this 1 becomes 11. So now we're taking 6 from 11, it will give us 5. 3 from 1? So we take 1 from this drops to 6. And then remember, if you take 1 from this digit to the other one, it becomes 10. So 10 together with this one now make it 11 again. And we say 3 from 11 is?
8.
6 from 8? Take 1 again, this drop to 7. And if you take 1 across here, it becomes 10. 10 and this 6 will become? 16. So we can say 16. And 8 from 16 gives us 8. And we have 7. Alright, so we have our answer there as 7, 8, 8, 5 as our answer there. Good. And this is how we normally subtract when we're dealing with the base 10 number system. Good. Let us try another example quickly. Let us say you have 2,186 and you want to subtract 1,344, and we're subtracting here. Anybody finish? Somebody want to know if I think you work with battery, yeah? That I want to know if you finish so fast. Vashi, you have an answer? You have an answer? What is your answer?
0.
Uh-huh.
842.
842. Anyone else have a different answer?
No,
sir.
So all of you agree with Varsha that it is 842. All right, let us subtract together. And if all of us agree, we go. 4 from 6.
2.
4 from 8.
4.
3 from 1.
Tango.
Take 1 from this drop to 1, and this now becomes 11. 3 from 11. 8. When we take 1 from that, it gives us 0, so we have 842 as our answer. Yes, and this is how we usually subtract when we deal with the base 10. And it's good for us to revise that, given that we're going to subtract now in base 2. So, what you do for me now is construct, set up your base 2 place value grid, and I will set up one on the board as well. And please make sure that you finish setting up your grid before I am finished setting up mine, your place value grid. And we can set up a place value grid up to, let us say, the 5th power or the 4th power of 2. Because this grid is going to help us to solve a problem. We could see how we could use the grid to help us to solve the problem. Good. Now let us consider an example where we're going to try to add these numbers, subtract, sorry. So we're going to subtract 101 base 2 from 11101 base 2. Now, to start us off, we're going to set this on our place value grid. All right? It doesn't mean that we will continue with the rest of our problems using this place value grid, but just let us see how it applies here. And I showed you in the last class how we set this down on the place value grid. We start from the left. So this will be 1, 0, 1, 1, 1. So then we can read from this side and it will be the same as this number here. So let us say this is our example A, or this is our example A, which we're going to look at. So this is the first number, and the second number is 101. This one was easy to write. And if we're going to subtract these two numbers now, let us see. You can help me. 1 from 1.
0.
0 from 0.
0.
1 from 1.
0.
Since we're nothing from 1.
1.
And then if we take this, we get 1 also. So we can say we're finished with our problem. So then we can say that 11101 base 2 subtract 101 base 2 is equal to 11000 base 2. So that's how we can subtract base 2 numbers. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Now observe with this subtraction, it was very simple because you hadn't to take one from the next column and carry it across to the other one and so on, as we did in our base 10 examples. I think maybe we should try a problem like that. Are you ready for a problem like that? But in example B, we will not be using this grid, because I just showed you how you could use that grid to make work easy for you. In example B, we're going to try to be a bit more abstract. You know, we're going to really try to be mathematicians so that we don't need a grid to help us to subtract. Right? We're going to use our brain power. Do we have brain power?
Yes, sir.
How some of you talk as if you're unsure. Do you have brain power?
Yes, sir.
Good. So let us subtract. If this is our example B, we have 1001 base 2, and we're subtracting from this 111 base 2. So we will set it as the normal problem, normal subtraction problem. And maybe somebody can surprise me by going ahead and doing the subtraction themselves, even without waiting on me to guide you. Someone is finished? Who's saying finished? Yes, Vasha, what's your answer?
1110.
1110 base 2. Yes, important to say base 2. Anyone else with a different answer? Yes, Donika, you have a different answer.
Yes, sir.
What's that?
0010.
Or we could say 10. We can just say 10, huh? We can drop off these 4 zeros. So we have two completely different answers there. Can I take a third one? Anyone has finished with something different from these two?
No, sir.
You have something different? What is, wow, this is interesting, yeah?
990.
990.
Sir, but that's wrong, so I'm thinking something's wrong.
He's thinking something is wrong. Can somebody tell him what is wrong? He knows something is wrong, but it doesn't come to
9
him.
is not a base 2 number.
But he figured it out himself, huh? That 9 is not a base 2 number, so we cannot have that number there, 9, in the answer. All right, let us subtract together. We start off. 1 from 1 give us 0. Okay, this was easy. 1 from 0 give us? Oh, we have problem. So we have to go to the next column and to take 1 from the next column. We go to the next, but we have more problems because there's 0 there again. So we go to the next one. If we take 1 from this drop to 0, and this becomes what, 10?
10. No, sir.
Okay, I know I'm going to catch somebody.
It becomes 2.
It becomes 10?
No, sir.
No, it becomes
2.
2. Why it becomes 2?
Base 2.
Base.
Because we're dealing with base 2. Whatever the base is, when you take 1 to the other side, it becomes the base. So this now becomes 2. And then, but remember, we have to go all the way to the next column. So then we take 1 from the 2. This drop to 1. When you take it across there, this now becomes 2. So now we can subtract. And we say 1 from 2 is 1. And 1 from 1 is 0. And then we have here 0. So we can write that 1, 0, 0, 1 base 2 subtract 1, 1, 1 base 2 is equal to 1, 0 base 2. So we see who was correct there. This was the correct answer, 1, 0 base 2. Like you guys waiting on the next example? All right, well, I hope I get more answers this time. All right, let me write the next problem here, and I hope that you can solve it faster. If we have 1, 0, 0, 0, 1 base 2, subtract, don't let the size of the problem confuse you, 1, 0, 1, 1 base 2. As soon as you finish, you can shout your answer. Make sure you take your time though.
One, 0. Base 2.
2 persons finish. Danica finished and she's giving her answer. Harish, you finished too. And you giving your answer. Yes, let me hear your answer, Danica.
1, 0 base 2.
Harish? The same answer you have too?
Yes, sir.
Good. So we have 3 different persons giving the same answer. Sure, nobody have something different? All of you agree with this?
Yes.
All of you agree with this wrong thing?
Yes,
You
sir.
sure? All right, then let us see. Let us subtract and see then. We have 1, 0, 0, 0, 1 base 2, and we're taking from this 1, 0, 1, 1 base 2. And you guys are absolutely sure about this. Nobody want to change their mind. All right, let's see. 1 from 1?
0.
1 from 0? So we have to come all the way back here. This becomes 0. This then becomes 2. Take 1 from this drop to 1, this then becomes 2. Take 1 from this drop to 1, this then becomes 2. And we take 1 from 2, we get?
1.
Sure you didn't want to change your mind as yet?
No.
All right, let us continue. 0 from 1?
1.
1 from 1?
0.
Nothing from 0 is
0.
0. So we can say that 1, 0, 0, 0, 1 base 2 subtract 1, 0, 1, 1 base 2 is equal to, as you rightly said, 1, 1, 0 base 2. So you were all correct. Any questions from anyone? So do you understand how to subtract numbers in base 2?
Yes, sir.
Good. All right, let us summarize what we did today. We started off by looking at how we subtract numbers ordinarily with base 10, how we subtract base 10 numbers. Then we took a, remember we first started with a very simple example where you hadn't to take anything from any other side. But we had to also consider problems where you may have like these here. So we did problems like these. And we learned that when subtracting, if you're going to take 1 to the next column, well then it becomes the size of the base. In this case it is base 2. So it becomes base 2. So we can subtract base 2. So now we learned so much about base 2. We learned about how to convert from base 10 to base 2. Come on, help me. We learned how to convert from base 2 back to base 10. We also learned how to add numbers in base 2. And now we learn how to subtract numbers in base 2. So as we come to the end of this lesson, I am looking forward to the next lesson. In our next lesson, we'll be looking at base 8. Good. Bye for now.
Bye, sir.
Bye.